Hi, this is Mark with Bindus Manufacturing, and I'm here to show you how to wire the controller that comes with the heat pump helper packages. Today we'll be wiring for the tankless version. The screwdriver that's included with the package is actually the perfect size for doing most of this work. When you take the controller out of the box, we'll go ahead and loosen up the screws on the top and the bottom. And remove the cover. To make our lives a little easier as we go forward, let's go ahead and remove the plastic arc shield for now, and we will replace that later when we're done. A couple of things to note here, that the top of the controller has 2 ports for low voltage, bottom of the controller has 2 ports for high voltage. We've already taken the liberty of knocking out the left side, which is closer to the pump terminals, and installing a 3/8 inch strain relief bushing. Let's go ahead and start with the thermostat wiring. To save time, we've already stripped back the jacket and exposed the 4 conductors that we'll need. We'll need the blue wire, green, red, and white. Any remaining wires that are left in the thermostat wire, just go ahead and wrap back around the back of the jacket. We've also stripped off the ends. And we're going to go ahead and put that in the top left port of the controller. Let's go ahead and start with loosening up the terminals that we will need for this installation. And that is simply the W terminal on the thermostat block, the C, the R, and the GL terminals on the air handler block. We will also need all 4 of the aquastat terminals. You'll see there's a freeze protection and a water coil. The water coil currently has a jumper in it. We're going to remove that jumper, but not lose it. There's also a jumper on the GL and the GH terminals. That jumper stays in place. Now that we've got everything prepared, we'll go ahead and connect the white wire to the W on the thermostat block. The green wire to the GL terminal. Again, keeping that jumper in place. The red wire to the R terminal. And lastly, the blue to the C terminal. Next, we'll take the wires from the previously installed thermostats on the aqua coil. The 2 white wires are the freeze protection stat that's inside the aqua coil. These are what will send the signal to the pump to protect the water coil in the event of a freezing condition inside the unit. And the 2 blue wires are the blower delay terminals, or the blower delay stat. This will wait until the pipe is at temperature before allowing the blower to come on and blow cool air into the house. So now we'll feed those through the right-hand low voltage port, because that's closer to the aquastat terminal. Now, if you need to, go ahead and trim down the copper ends on these wires, and of course twist them up so they're easier to place into the terminals. There's no polarity on these, so it doesn't matter which wire goes into which side as long as the colors match up. We're going to put the white into freeze protection and the blue into water coil. White for ice, blue for water. If you have any difficulty inserting the wires, just make sure that the terminal is fully loosened. There we go. Alright, and that's actually it for the low voltage side. While we're over here, let's take a look at the jumper or the dip switches here. They're labeled 1 through 4. On is on the bottom side of the controller. And what we're looking for is to make sure that dip switches 1 and 2 are set to off. Those are what will control the manual blower delay. Since we're using a thermostatic blower delay, we're going to keep those off. Dip switch 3 turns on the pump exerciser. We're going to go ahead and turn that on. Dip switch 4 controls how often the pump exerciser runs. There's an option for 30 seconds every 24 hours, which is making sure that switch is on the 2 minutes every 24 hours or 30 seconds every 2 weeks. In this particular case, since we're using a water heater with potable water, we want to make sure the water doesn't go stagnant. So we're going to use 2 minutes every 24 hours. So dip switch 4 stays off. So 1, 2, and 4 are off. 3 is on. Next, we will go ahead and install the high voltage wire for the pump. Again, to save time, we've already stripped the wires. These will go in through your strain relief bushing on the bottom. And we'll go ahead and connect at the ground first, because that usually tends to be the most difficult part of this. So the ground will be connected to the green screw down below. That's going through the bottom of the controller. Make sure you leave yourself plenty of room there. And tighten that down. Now, since this is a 230 volt pump, both the black and the white wires will be carrying current, so there is no polarity on this switch. Doesn't matter which goes into which side. Tighten those down. So the high voltage is only going to be carrying between 1 and 2 amps of current. The wire doesn't need to be anything special. You don't need to go with 10 or 12 gauge. You can go with the smallest Romex you can find, and that'll be just fine for this application. Now that the ground and the 2 hot legs are connected to the terminal, we'll go ahead and replace the shield. And tighten down the strain relief bushing. So, on the thermostat wire, we've got the white wire connected to the thermostat block. The C goes to the blue wire, the red wire goes to the R, the green wire goes to the GL. That jumper stays in place. The 2 aquastats go into the top block here. Blue wires for water and white wires for freeze. Pump grounded. Both power legs are connected. And that is your final fully wired controller. Replace the cover, and you are all set.